So it was May 16th when it happened. I thought it was very dramatic.
On May 16th, 2021.
Happened on a Sunday. We were driving back from Iowa to our apartment here, and on an interstate, it was pretty rainy. There was a lot of mist, and it was pretty crowded traffic. Ahead of us, there was an accident, and traffic was slowing down. We couldn't see the accident, and we had quite a bit of space between us and the other vehicle involved in the accident. And at the moment I was driving, Sarah was taking a nap. Where was I?
We're about to hydroplane.
Yeah. So the traffic slows down because of the other accident ahead of us. And we started to hydroplane, which I believe is when Sarah woke up, as we started to. And we hydroplaned for about like 5 seconds maybe. It was a pretty long time. We slid for about 100 feet before we hit the other car, so we were even like a pretty safe distance away. But since we hydroplaned, and I think they estimated we were going about 30 or 40 miles an hour when we like hit the other car. So it was decently fast. It was really weird when we were sliding, because I like expected the impact a little quicker than it happened, and it felt like it was like almost like I like kind of braced for impact, and then it felt like it was like longer
Slow
than it should have
motion
been.
is what it felt like.
Yeah.
Which I just want to interject and like let everyone know that Jacob like didn't do anything wrong. Like he said, there was plenty of space. It was raining and really horrible weather, and like I don't blame him in any way. Like he did everything he possibly could in his power. It was just a sucky. Did you hear that?
I did, yeah. I don't know what that was.
It was just a sucky situation that happened, and he just happened to be the one driving. If I was driving, I don't think it would have been any different. You can't really like do much to control hydroplaning, so
Yeah.
no one is upset at Jacob.
And we were in the passing lane when we hit the other car, and we basically just hit them and bounced straight back and then kind of hit them again. The second impact was more just kind of like a bump, because we had like come to a full stop when we hit them. And our car was totaled, and the front of the car was all messed up, and Sarah's door, so the passenger door, the car like was dented in some way to where it couldn't open up. I never actually saw that side of the car, but it couldn't open up.
Should I tell this part?
Yeah, you can tell this part.
So after we like impacted them, I've been told, so I'm assuming people are right, that the airbags let off a bunch of this like smoky stuff in the car. We had just hit real hard, and I couldn't breathe, and I was in a lot of pain, kind of just everywhere. And I was like, I honestly thought the car was on fire. That's what I thought the smoke was. So I was like, we have to get out of the car as fast as possible. So I tried to open my door. I thought it was locked because it didn't open. So I tried to unlock it and open it again, and it didn't work. And if I had been able to get out of it, I would have run into traffic. But thankfully, I couldn't get out of it. So we ran out of Jacob's door to like the side railing on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my door obviously worked, and we were able to get out, and we were standing on the side of the highway or the interstate, and Sarah at this point started to feel more of her pain, and like the initial adrenaline started to wear off a little bit. And in the impact, I had like this little bruise on my foot from the accident and some whiplash. So I was able to like walk around completely fine, and I was obviously like kind of dazed and like
In shock.
in
a bit.
shock of everything that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
But physically I was totally fine. And I was holding her on the side because she started to feel weak and went pretty pale. And she started to lose her vision.
Yeah, I went blind for, it felt like 5 minutes. I don't know how long it was.
I have no idea either.
And my voice was like the lowest man you've ever heard on earth.
Yeah, it was very
It
low
was
and
super
grunty.
low, but I also could hardly make any like volume with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was really
Yeah.
scary.
And also because of like trying to get out of the car fast, because it was like filled with smoke. Sarah did not grab her slides, so she was just standing in the rain on the side of the highway in her socks.
Nearly passing out.
Yeah, nearly
Not
passing
able to
out.
breathe.
I was holding her, and the other people and like this other trucker had pulled over, and they like came to like ask if people were okay. And at that time, I started to call 911.
And the other party was all okay.
Yeah, they're totally fine.
Like bruised and whiplashed, but like okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I started to call 911 as the people came up to kind of assess the situation. And as we look back on it, it was totally Jesus helping me in the moment to like find surroundings, and I was able to like tell the 911 operator like the city, the exit we were right by, the direction we were heading.
You knew
I
everything.
don't remember if I said the interstate we were on or not.
It was really impressive.
Yeah, but Jesus totally helped me like find our surroundings to like be able to tell them, and I assume other people called 911 too. I would hope they did. But I don't actually know if there was more calls about it. And a few minutes later, the EMT showed up, and eventually they got her on a stretcher, and she went to the ambulance, and I was with the cop that had showed up trying to find insurance, and he was getting their insurance as well. And as Sarah was starting to go off to the hospital, which turned out it was only like a couple miles away, which is super cool. But she was leaving, and at the moment I didn't know whether she could feel her legs or not.
I think we forgot to mention that like the biggest issue I was struggling with, besides going blind and struggling to breathe, which you'd think this would be kind of high up,
Yeah.
my back hurt really, really bad.
Right.
And I kept thinking Jacob was touching my back, and I'd be like, stop touching my back, don't touch my back. And he was like, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the main reason that I got in the ambulance, along with everything else, to leave. That's our dinner. So he thought I was paralyzed because he was holding me up. I couldn't stand.
Yep.
And because my back really hurt.
Yeah. So we have like a few minutes.
Do you want to go check them?
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
So I had no idea if Sarah was paralyzed or not at this moment, and I was starting to freak out. The rain picked up because why not? It started pouring, and our cars were like still touching, and the cop had told me to reach into the car to get like anything I would need, and also like insurance info. So I was like halfway in the car, but I was still standing on the road, and the other car started to drive away while my car was like still in drive and just leaning up against their car. So it started to roll down the hill because we were like on a slight hill, and it obviously scared me, and I like jumped out, but then I tripped on some debris and like barely pulled my foot out from under the car to where the tire would have rolled over my foot, and that like obviously like frazzled me.
frazzled.
I was But at that moment, I had also like fallen into a puddle as well, and it was kind of just like a classic movie scene of an accident, where like the person's sitting in a puddle, it's pouring rain, and they're like overwhelmed, which is exactly what I was feeling. Then, to speed it up, the cop helped me up, found the insurance, he took me to the hospital. Sarah had a broken spine, just 2 vertebrae, and they were good vertebrae to break because they did not paralyze her or cause any brain damage.
Woo woo. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, so Jesus was all over the situation. He definitely protected us and helped us recover. The initial recovery was going to be 3 to 6
Can I tell something now?
Yes, you can.
So, Jacob goes to the hospital. Find out after a while, not paralyzed, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Broke my back, not a big deal. But so we stayed overnight in the hospital to get fitted for a brace. And the doctor was like, okay, it's gonna be 4 to 6 months.
3 or 4, like it was
4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Of recovery before you're good. And that was actually a short time frame because mine are compression fractures. It's not broken all the way through. It's just like cracked.
Yeah.
Still painful though.
Mind you.
But what was I saying?
You had compression fractures.
Right. They told us 4 to 6 months. And it was like, and for 3 weeks.
Okay.
Can I just keep going? Do you want to take them out?
Yeah.
I'll keep going without you.
Okay.
What was the last thing I said?
4 to 6 months, like for the second time.
Right. But he was like, for 3 weeks, you can't do anything. Like, I don't want you to lift up anything out of the fridge. I don't want you bending over. You basically just get to sit around and do nothing, wear this brace, and take lots of pain pills. And then we get sent home, and I have a follow-up, like 4 days later, with another doctor. And we do another scan, and he's like, oh, you have like 4 to 6 weeks. Or 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks.
You have 6 to 8 weeks, and then you'll be fully recovered, and you don't even need to wear the brace if you don't want to. Which, like, what a Jesus thing. He cut the time by like 1/4 of it or something. I don't really do math, but a lot. And so it's right now, it's 2.5 weeks post-accident. I am kind of in pain right now because I'm sitting up with no support, but I can do so much.
Yeah. So
much. Jesus has healed my body in such a crazy way. I shouldn't be able to do anything right now at all, but I can.
Yeah.
And I'm not wearing a brace, and I'm not taking like narcotics to help with pain.
Yeah. And originally she was on a painkiller narcotic, like every 4 hours around the clock. So that was like waking up every 4 hours in the middle of the night and like having like all these alarms. And now she just takes one narcotic
In the
morning.
That's
And she's thinking about dropping that tomorrow actually.
Yeah.
Just to like test it out. And then just taking like some over the counter, like ibuprofen, Tylenol type stuff throughout the day.
Yeah.
Which is such a Jesus thing.
It's crazy how quickly Jesus has like allowed my body to recover and be healed.
Yeah, her healing has been like totally Jesus. And we had some people at our church pray for her at one point, and like from that instance on, it like excelled it even more, honestly. And we could notice like there was less pain, and I don't think you've worn the brace since that prayer. Yeah, so no brace at all, which is huge. And then we're alive. Go ahead.
We've recorded some like just little clips of what it was like the first I think it was the first week after the accident, of like Jacob helping me get around and like what it looked like to live life with a broken back and what some of the recovery looked like. I've been healed so quickly that we don't have like a lot of footage, honestly,
Yeah.
because Jesus has healed me so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And also a lot of what I would do is just sit around. It's not that exciting.
Yeah.
So we're gonna like show bits and pieces of that. We have photos in the hospital of injuries because I had a whiplash.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really bruised chest from the impact and the broken back, and then I bruised up my knees because I was sitting in the seat with my like feet tucked under me. So when we like hit, it was like my face, chest, and knees that hit the like dash of the car and the airbag.
Yeah.
But
And again, I have like no injuries. I was like, it took a little bit to like get some energy back.
I feel
But
like
that
you
was
were
like
pretty
a
good
day
in
or
like
two.
3 days max.
Yeah. And like I've already gone back to work. I went back after like 3.5 days, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like 100% already, which is so amazing because it would be so easy to get paralyzed or have like a permanent body damage from the accident we were in. And I walked away with nothing, and she walked away with 2.5 weeks of recovery.
So far.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah. And people have been really generous with like helping and either sending us food, or there's been people that have been sending us money to help pay for all of the hospital bills, and like we need to buy another car now. So we're very aware that we've been like really fortunate in this unfortunate circumstance, and that Jesus has been really kind to us in this like horrible situation that happened. Well, thank you for watching this video. We're really happy that you're here, and we'll see you next time, I guess. Maybe.
If you watch the next video.
I don't want to be like and subscribe.
Yeah.
That's what most people
That's
say.
not the intent of this channel.
Yeah. We're happy you're here, and we hope you enjoyed it. Bye.
Bye. Yes. 2021.